Yulia Shapovalova is live for us in Moscow. The way that the draft plan stands at the moment, it looks as though Moscow is going to gain an awful lot out of this. But what is the view from Moscow?
Well, officially, there is no comment from the Russian side. It's obviously clear that it's only a draft agreement and things may change during the finalizing process of this draft. Yes, Russia seems to be more beneficial compared to Ukraine, but basically no one comments on anything currently. Well, sources say that Russian representatives have been informed about this draft plan, but what we know, we've just heard a video. It emerged recently showing the Russian leader visiting the front. Vladimir Putin was wearing a military uniform. He was listening to reports about Russian advances on the battlefield. So many might say that this urgent trip to the front coincided with Trump's new peace plan. And even though the Kremlin did not comment on the plan, Putin's appearance at the front, well, many read as his signal to Donald Trump that Russia is making gains on the battlefield and Ukraine is losing, and basically it's bogged down in a corruption scandal at home. And well, it's time to make peace. It's time to make concessions and on Russia's terms, basically. So we know that the plan requires concessions from both sides, not from Ukraine, but from Russia as well. And in particular, Vladimir Putin will have to agree to losing part of the money, of the frozen assets, which are frozen in Europe, at least $100,000 billion. And also, Russia has to agree to lose parts of the territories which Russia considers its very own territories, parts of Kherson and Zaporizhia regions, which are now part of Russia in accordance with the Russian constitution, and also to accept well, basically, it has to accept that Ukraine still is going to retain a big part of its army. And at the same time, the Kremlin may hope for a change of power in Kyiv through elections and the emergence of a government which will be more loyal to the Kremlin.
Yulia, thank you very much indeed. Yulia Shapovalova there in Moscow. I want to go to Audrey Macalpine. She's a freelance journalist. She's joining us now live from Kyiv. Now, I understand that European leaders have been speaking to President Zelensky in the light of this draft proposal. Do we know what's been coming out of these conversations?
Well, just in the last hour or so, President Zelensky spoke with the French president, the German chancellor, and the UK prime minister. They were discussing the possibility of drafting a new peace plan and what the details of that might be. We've heard over the last day, since the details of this 28-point peace plan proposed by Russia and the US has been released, the Europeans have been very much against the details of this plan. They also feel that they were not consulted in the plan whatsoever. So they'll be working with Zelensky to draft a new version of this. We also know that they'll be meeting, the G20 will be meeting tomorrow. But for the Europeans, how they feel is that Ukraine is a line of defense for them. Since the U.S. took a step back from Ukraine's defense, Europe has been picking up the brunt of that. They've been through the Pearl program, supplying with Ukraine with a lot of its weapons. So, of course, they feel that they have a lot at stake in this peace plan.
And in the meantime, Russia still making claims of territorial gains inside Ukraine. What's happening on the front line?
On the front line, there were reports last night from the Russian side that they had taken the city of Kupiansk, but the Ukrainian side is still holding to the fact that that is not the case, that the battles are still going on in that northern city along Ukraine's fortress belt. Further down the fortress belt on the east side, near the city of Pokrovsk, battles, some of the fiercest battles of the war are still raging. And then further south in the region of Zaporizhia, one of these areas in this peace plan that the front lines will be drawn, Russia has made surprise advances in the last few weeks, presumably to try to take as much territory as possible in the event that this peace plan does go through.
Audrey, thank you very much indeed.
Don't miss out. Get a full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.